Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and as you can see, we're in the new workshop. Now, it's not completely finished in here yet. This is kind of like a bit of a test video. I just want to see how the lighting is at the moment, and the acoustics and things like that. Whether I'm going to have to perhaps get an external microphone, because it's a much bigger room than I'm used to filming in. Like I said, I've actually got space in here. It's not finished yet. I'm not going to be doing a lot of big projects in here just yet. I've not actually brought all my test equipment and tools and everything down yet. I've just got a few little bits for what I'm going to do on this video today. Main reason being I haven't actually finished painting yet. I've got all my shelving that's up over there. That's all in primer at the moment. I've still got to put another coat of emulsion paint on the walls. I've still got to paint the ceiling yet. But over the last, basically I've been doing this over the Christmas period while I've had absolutely nothing to do. Well, not that I've had nothing to do, but you know, when I've not been busy with Christmassy type things, I've been doing some work in here, and I've got the new floor down. Got an absolute bargain with that, and basically got this room into a state where I could actually film a video in here. And like I said, it's reasonably well lit. Hopefully the acoustics aren't going to be too bad that you're not going to be able to hear me. We'll address that if that does end up being a problem. You know, I might have to get a lapel mic, or I've got radio mics kicking about somewhere, so we can sort something out if that is going to be a problem. Hopefully it's not. Like I say, it's not a massive room this, but it is a lot bigger than I usually film my stuff in. It's nice. I'm really pleased I've actually managed to get this to the point that I have. Like I say, it's not finished yet. I've got more shelving to go in on that side there. I've got some units that I've got currently up in storage. I want to bring down to use to actually put systems on for testing and playing on systems and stuff. I've got my radiogram, which is currently in storage, a really nice 1970s Grundig radiogram, which I'd like to get down here so I can actually play some of my vinyl in here while I'm working in here, doing things, you know. But what I thought we'd do in this video, because over this week that I've been, like I said, working and playing in here, I keep looking over at that thing. And I know there's quite a few people who are interested in what I can find about it and what we can do with it. So what I thought we'd do in this video is we'll pull the computer actually out of that S4000. We'll get it on the bench here, so you know, I now have a massive big bench to work on. We'll take a bit more of a detailed look at it, and we might actually see whether we can power it up. I don't know whether we're going to be able to or not, and if we do manage to power it up, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it to display anything, because the monitors in there I've still got to investigate. Basically that whole unit is designed to run on either 100 or 110 volts. The monitors, I don't know whether they're low voltage DC or whether they were designed to run on like 100, 110 volts, 120 volts, something like that. So what we'll do first, like I said, we can actually take the computer out. The computer is actually disconnected at the moment from the rest of the system. That was actually the only way I could get this thing down my drive, and actually in here when I first picked it up. So it does mean we can make this next bit quite easy, because essentially what we can do, we can get hold of the computer system, we can pull it out like that, and if we, it is quite heavy, but we can pull the entire computer system out and put it on the bench here. So what I'll do, I'll get the camera set back up so you can actually have a proper look at this thing, and we can actually see what we've got. Like I say, it really is quite an interesting thing, and so far I haven't actually found a CPU on there. I have seen this thing running. The original eBay listings for this. I did actually see it powered up then, but I personally have never had it powered up. I've never really done anything with it, so that's what we're going to do in this video today. So back in a sec. Right, and we're back, and hopefully you've got a bit of a better shot of this now. You're only actually seeing half of it. Basically, there's 4 boards to this. We've got this top board here, which from what I can see a lot of SRAM there, and then a lot of basically 74 series logic. We have yet another board underneath. Again, we've got a lot more, which I think is SRAM, and just a lot more 74 series logic in there. Right, what I'll do is I'll move this way so you can see it on camera. We've now got another board here. Now this seems, this to me is looking like it may be something to do with analog. It's marked up SGVA PCB. I will say straight away, I don't stand a hope in hell's chance of getting service data or a manual or anything for this. Believe me, I have actually looked. There isn't anything I can find out there. So we are basically down to just looking at the thing and just see if we can figure out if there is any way we can actually get this thing to do anything. Power wise, I think we're going to be fairly okay. I know that all this runs on 5 volts. I've got these 2 lines here. Just move this back over so you can see. I've got these 2 lines here which I actually disconnected when I was trying to get this thing out of the actual S4000 to get it up the driveway. They connect back onto 2 terminals there, and I actually end up cutting it here. Now I'm pretty sure if I feed 5 volts into there with that reconnected, that should actually power this console up, which I suppose that's really one of the first things we should actually try. I'll just show you what's under there as well, but I still as yet have not found a CPU board in this thing. It's just a lot of 74 series logic. Bear in mind this thing is from, what is it, about 85, 86, you know, this is quite vintage technology. I'm actually quite surprised there wasn't a PC in here driving it. I was kind of expecting to find something like that, but no, it is all this custom computer hardware. Well, let's lift this one up. I think I can only lift someone up a little bit here, but in here we seem to have a ROM board here. I'm presuming this has got the OS on it, but again I can't actually see. In fact, what's that down there? There's an NEC chip right in the corner there. That might be something like a V20, I'm not sure. I can't actually see. Right, CPU I/O, that's it explained. So that's the CPU I/O board there. In fact, that seems to be the keyboard connector there. So is this thing loosely based on a PC? I'm not sure actually, no. We've got some more cut wires there. So what I'm going to have to do is figure out, so obviously the CPU board there is now at the moment disconnected, so that's not getting any power to it. That board's disconnected, that's not getting any power to it. So what I'm going to have to do before we can even look at getting this thing powered up is figure out the routing for this. What's that there? I'm guessing that must be one of my. I don't think that's mine. Well, I've got a free screwdriver with it anyway. So anyway, what I was saying, what I'm going to have to figure out is these cut wires, which are for the 5 volts to go to each one of these boards. get that connector back up, and then we could possibly actually having a look at powering this thing up and just seeing what happens, whether we get some displays on the keyboard firing up, because I believe all this is will give some information. Even if we just get a few LEDs firing up, ascertain that, and then really take it from there. It's a shame actually that the other boards don't seem to be marked. That is marked, see, down here, CPU I/O. So we know that that is the CPU board there. Now this is that MEM30. So is that a memory board? So I've never ever worked on anything quite like this. This is completely bespoke. So it's not like you're working on an old BBC Micro or something like that. This really is something a little bit specialist. Is this board down underneath that one's another memory board? So we've got this one's marked up as mem-io. So imem.io. And this one's imem.03. So I'm guessing those are the two memory boards. So is that all the RAM and what have you? We've got a CPU and I/O board there, which has obviously got some ROMs on it as well, so I'm presuming they contain the operating system. And then we've got this big board on the top here, which I'm guessing is some form of analog board. I can't find any designation on it actually, like I can on the other boards. No, I can't see anything marking what it actually does. Like I said, apart from that where it says SGVA PCB. So I'm wondering if that's not actually needed to get the rest of the computer part of it actually up and running. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'll pause the video now and I'll just see what I can do about sorting all this 5-volt wiring out. Just see if I can rig it together enough that we can actually connect all the boards that we need to connect up, and then we'll see what we can do about rigging this up to a power supply. I can't really use the power supply that's actually in the S4000, even though it does have a dedicated 5-volt supply to power this up. I don't know what voltages it runs on, and it will be an absolute mare at the moment to actually pull it out of there. So for the moment, we'll try and use a known good 5-volt supply for actually doing this. But before I can do that, like I said, I do have to see what I can do, just sort out some of these cut wires, and hopefully we can get a little bit further on with this. So back in a sec. Okay, we're back, and that took a little bit longer than I was expecting, but basically, I'll get my anti-static back on. I am being cautious. I don't want to fry any of the ICs in here, because there are probably some quite usable components I can salvage out of this eventually. But basically what I've done, I've traced the wiring out. I've managed to get that reconnected where it should be. So we've got positive that side, negative that side. I checked that out with that capacitor there, and that does reference, so that the positive on that side of the capacitor is on that side of the connector there, so we're happy with that. So basically that side's alright. I've traced it through, I've reconnected the boards underneath. I've had to use a bit of a connector block there just to get it all connected back up, but I've got I'm not sure about that board because that doesn't have direct power into it. So I'm sure I think that's an analog board that's more to do with this part of the actual system, but I believe I've got the 5-volt lines for the 3 boards, which I think actually make up the computer side of this, connected back up now. And I've got them coming out to this piece of cable here, so we've got 5 volts and ground on there. I've got an old ATX power supply here, and I've bridged the green to the ground there, so this will power up as soon as I actually switch it on at the wall. So basically all we need to do, let's take one of these Molex connectors here, and we will connect the 5 volts from this ATX power supply. So, I mean, the good thing about using an ATX power supply, if there's anything disastrously wrong, it should just cut the power supply out, because it does have a short circuit protection on it. Right, so we will go 5 volts, plug that in there and ground. That's that one there. So I mean, this is just a lash up at the moment, but I've just basically connected them up to the Molex connector there. Just push the wires in. It's really thick wire, this 5 volt line for the computer, so they did push in there quite nicely. I'll can I get you zoomed out in so you can see the let me see if I can get you over there a little bit so you can see the full thing, just in case anything actually does light up on here. We'll power it up and we'll see if we get any LEDs or anything actually coming on here. So let's have contact. Well, that's the power supply is on. You can hear the fan running in it, but I don't actually see anything at all. We've got any LEDs lighting or anything like that. So I did see a few LEDs, I think, on the... Ah, yes! We do have an LED on the main CPU board that's lit. But that's all I can see. What's that say there? Remove after something or other. But it's still on there. But no, apart from that, we've got absolute... Oh, hang on. Hey! Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but we've actually got the caps lock light on the keyboard is working. And when I mean working, I press the caps lock, it comes on, I press it again and it goes off. So we do have power to the keyboard. The keyboard doesn't seem to be actually doing something. So them, I don't know if I can get any other lights. Yeah, shift lock as well. So shift lock and caps lock definitely work. We've got, oh, that's just a blank key. I don't know if any of these are going to, anything's going to light up here. No, but we do actually have, like I said, we do seem to have some functionality actually on the keyboard. What I might just dig a logic probe out, and we'll have a little bit of a. We've got some. Let me get you over there so you can see a little bit better. This is where we've got all them RAM ICs in this area here. Let's see if we've got any activity on any of these ICs there, and then let's see if we've got any activity on any of these BNCs. We've got BNCs on that board, we've got BNCs on the board underneath. I don't think we have any on the CPU board, but I'm wondering if one of them is going to be some kind of monitor. Well, we can see with a scope, can't we? See if we've got anything. See if we can dig a scope out. I'll dig the logic probe out first, because that's easy. That's in this box next to me there. And we will have a look on these RAM ICs around there and actually see if we've got any activity going. If we have, I might see if I can dig a scope out and do I dig a scope out? Yeah, I'll dig a scope out and see if we've got anything that looks sensible on any of them BNCs at the back. If we have, I'll see about getting a monitor, and we'll see if we can actually see if the thing is actually going to display anything. So let me get a logic probe set up and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I've got my logic probe here. This is just it's quite an old logic probe. This a friend of mine many years ago gave me this. He used to work at Ferranti's, and I believe he probably acquired this from Ferranti's probably back in the 1980s or the early 1990s. Anyway, what we've got here, we've got I believe they're RAM chips rather than ROM chips. I think they're 256K RAM ICs. They're Hitachi HM6 2256 LP-12. So let's have a look here. Let's just have a quick. Oops. I think we actually do have, yeah, look at this. We've actually got pulse in there. These ICs are actually, you know, they're not static, it's not just held in one state. We do appear to actually have activity on these. Let's try another one. Yeah. So this board is definitely alive. Got activity on all the RAM ICs, all the ones I've tested so far. There we go. So what I suppose what I've really got to do is dig the old scope out, and we'll have a look at some of these BNCs at the back of the system and actually see whether we've got something that's going to look like a video signal. And if we have, we might actually be able to get this thing to connect up to a monitor. Anyway, I'll pause the video. I'll have to see if I can dig one of my scopes out actually. So we'll have a bit of a fiddle, and I'll get back to you as soon as I find anything. So back in a sec. Okay, I've got my little pocket scope out here. Now I'm just having a bit of a fiddle around. Basically, at the back of here we have the 4 BNCs off this top memory board. Now the first 3 that I tried just gave a high. There was no actual signal there. Now I'm on the last one, which is CN12 here. And if we connect the scope up to it, I'll just try there. We've got a definite signal there. Now whether it's a video signal or not, I'm not sure, but we've got a definite pulsing signal there coming out of that. So what I'll carry on doing is I'll carry on going around the rest of the BNs. Like I said, I'm not too bothered about that board up there, because I think that's analog. I think that's more to do with other aspects of the microscope. And what I really want to concentrate on is just seeing if we can get a display out of this actual computer system. So I'll pause again and I will start having a look at, I think there's some more BNCs on the bottom board. And I don't think there's anything like that on the actual CPU I/O board, but I believe there is on the other one of these boards. So we'll have a quick look at that, see if there's any lively signals there, and we may just dig a monitor out and see if there's actually anything coming out of it. So again, back in a sec. Right, I've had a quick look at those other signals, and there's nothing there that I would say could cause any problems, as in there's no spike signals, anything. It's all line level. But I don't know really what they are. I don't think they're video signals, but this is interesting. What I've done basically, I've got an old monitor connected up here. Hopefully you can see that screen there. Now I've just got a composite connection to it here. Now if I go on that BNC there, we are getting an actual signal. Now there's nothing on the screen, but that to me looks very much like a blank video signal there. I'm just wondering if we can you actually see what's showing on there? It's basically just showing a blank screen, but there's definitely a video signal being produced on that BNC. You know, switch the computer off. We saw the signal go away, and I switch back on. So we've definitely got a video signal being produced there. I mean, there's nothing on it, and I can't get the computer to actually do anything. But I do remember when I first saw this thing fired up, that only one of the screens actually displayed any computer data. The other screen was just a blank screen. It was just showing a raster like that. It's just quite interesting. I mean, like I said, it definitely looks like that is producing something that looks like a correct video signal. It's just got no actual signal there. It's just the what do you call it? Like the back porch. It's just the black background. We're not actually got any video signal on there, but that's quite promising. I don't think those other two BNCs on here are anything to do with video, but connecting them wouldn't cause any problems. So let's just have a quick play and see if there is anything coming out of them. So we definitely had a video signal out of that. Oh, look at that. We got it. We've got it. It was the other ones. Excellent. So we've got signal select. Right, so we do actually have the computer in this basically functioning. I wonder what's on the other one. In fact, is this going to be perhaps S-Video, and we've got Chroma and Sync on two separate connectors? I wonder if that's what we've actually got, because I've just moved that over onto the next one. Let me just try going back to the other one. It's the same thing, it's signal select, 1, 2, 3, and then it's got the memories. Let me go back onto the other one, make sure that's, I think they're both giving out exactly the same. Yeah, it's just, I think we've actually probably got S-Video there, and it's might be Chroma and Sync. But we've actually got it doing something. Bear with me a sec. I will reposition the camera. I'll flip the screen so it's actually the right way around, and we'll actually see if this thing will definitely do something. Right, this is interesting. Bear with me a sec. I will reset the camera and we will see what we can actually get this thing to do. Right, hopefully you can see everything there. I've got the screen actually the right way around now. I've got everything connected up, so if I power back up with lock, let's see what this thing's actually going to do now. Is it actually going to work? Now, why was it working before when we had it flipped on its side, but now I've got it the right way around, it's not working. Let's just see. Ah, there we go. It is what, yeah. So that's VACC, accelerating voltage. Right, so basically what would be the F key seemed to bring everything up. Let me get my chair so we can, and let me get you, I'll get you zoomed in on the actual screen so you can actually see what's coming up on that screen, because it's probably a bit faint from where you are at the moment. And get you up like that. There we go. Hopefully you can see that now. So let's start at PF1 then. So we've got this kind of shows you why I didn't want to just fire this thing up. As we can see, we've got a transformer in there which is capable of producing 20,000 volts. Like I said, that's why I didn't just put power to this thing and see what it did, especially with the fact that this computer system was not exactly connected to the rest of it. We could have all kinds of fun things happen. Right, so we've got, that's the first button, which is VACC. Then we've got column COND. Column condition, condition of the lens, work distance. I presume this is basically how you set the electron microscope up. Input, yeah, all this works. I mean, the actual control system for this, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I've never used any equipment like this before in my life, but let's column adjust. Yeah, beam. I mean, this is, from the little bits I know about scanning electron microscopes, I mean, this is how you actually adjust like the beam that scans the object you're scanning, and this is interesting. Signal select. That's what we had pressed at first when I was first fiddling with it. Monitor assign. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do with this. What I bought this for really was the console in itself. I've got some ideas for the console, but this computer, I really don't know. There's a lot of very, very nice salvageable parts in it, I will say that. I don't think it's really of any use to anyone as what it actually is, as the control computer for one of these microscopes. I'm guessing people that do actually still have these in operation have probably, you know, built something far, far more advanced to actually control it than this original control computer. So I'm just pressing buttons just to see what comes up. I don't know what any of this stuff is. One nice thing it does mean though is that those monitors are composite, RS video. I'm not sure. I can't presume. In fact, it wouldn't be colour, would it? There's no point in them being colour. And the screen actually was a green screen. Yeah, so it must just be. Why has it got two outputs for the video then though? We'll just try quickly swapping between the two and see if it makes a difference. Now it's on its correct way around like that. So let's move that one to there. No, it just seems to have two out. One of them is to send off to like an external monitor or something like that. It must be. Because it's exactly the same information on both outputs. That's photo condition. But that's the other thing. Does this thing have the ability to actually like capture an image in it? Because we've got photo and we've got memory and direct. So does this actually have some like really crude photo capture capability to it? That'd be interesting to find out. But system adjust. So I really don't know what I am looking at here. Emission, I know that's talking about current there, 3 emission, 10, that'll be microamps. Again, like I said, that's incredibly high voltage but very low current power source in the in that unit. PCRT adjust, what's that then? Let's try that. Enter. So I don't. Right, let's try some of these buttons. Nothing else seems to do anything. Data entry. Oh, what's this? Hey. I don't know what it's doing at the moment. Exit. Return. Can't seem to bring anything else up. I will say this keyboard is really nice. Okay, I don't know what I've done there. I hit the exit at the end there. Oh. Let's see if we can bring something. There we go. I don't know what that cursor flying down the screen's to do with. I can stop it by hitting that and get it back to there. System adjustment. So it looks like it is definitely interesting. It's just a damn shame I don't know what I'm doing with it. But it does appear to be like a computer that was designed for the sole purpose of running this microscope. You know, it's not just like an embedded PC or something like that. It was solely designed. It was literally solely designed to do this, to run this electron microscope. So you don't even know how to change anything or get into any other menus, if there are any other menus or anything like that. It's, you really oh, right, so I can change things. Inputs, so they're monitor inputs. Input RGB. Right, so perhaps this thing can run a colour monitor. Yeah, interesting. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it does seem like I can actually change some of the settings here. Interesting. So I don't know what I'm doing. Sudo.c. What's that? It just changes inputs. Was that next in grayscale? Number 4. What's that? Level LMH. Input PRG, RBG, RGB. Right. I really don't know. So I don't know what I am doing with this thing, but it's just interesting to actually see. We did actually manage to get the computer to fire up and at least do something. Because like I said, when I saw this thing originally on the eBay listing, it was displaying something like that on one of the screens. It was on the green screen, and the other screen was just showing pretty much what we saw, just like a blank raster, like we got out when we connected. Let's just try that again quickly. When we actually connected up to the other ones didn't seem to have anything that looked like a signaler, they just had a high on them. But that is pretty much what it was showing when I see, even with pressing any of these, it doesn't actually do anything, but that's pretty much what it was showing. That screen, and then, you know, text like we have just seen down here. So yeah, we do appear to have it actually functioning to some state. And I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, this probably has dragged on a little bit longer than I was expecting it to, because to be honest, I wasn't expecting to get to the point where I could actually get a display on the screen out of this thing. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably just put it back in the S4000 cabinet for now, until I actually finish getting this room finished up, because I don't want to get things covered in paint and what have you while I'm working on the rest of the room. So I'll put it away for now, and we will further tear into this thing and the actual S4000 unit and all the juicy bits that are actually inside there in a later video. But I hope you enjoyed that little update on this interesting piece of obsolete 1980s hardware. So I'll say thanks for watching and goodbye.